We will begin with opening comments from President Betsy Cantwell, who will introduce Jon Haarlow for opening remarks, and then we will take questions from the audience before photos and breaking into one-on-one interviews. And with that, we will now turn things over to President Cantwell.
I'm very excited that this is the first time I ever got the O right. First time ever. I've been here a year. I read an article the other day that was about Jon Haarlow, and I thought I would begin my remarks by just telling you how much we have a new athletics director who is student-focused. That's a huge aspect of who we are and what we mean as Cougs, and I'm just here to tell you that that component of what Jon has shown has been incredibly important to me. Also, before I do my formal remarks, which everyone writes for me, and I go, I don't like that. I wanted to thank Jon's family, his wife Jessica, and their children, and really, I'm sure there's an extended family that will be here for them as Jon is here for all of us. It's a big job. It takes a lot of work, and families who have a member that becomes an athletic director at a place like this give up a lot of their time, and we will tell you all the time, Jessica, that we appreciate it, but I really mean it at this point, so I wanted to start with that. So today we solidified the next step in the evolution of Cougar athletics. You all know we're evolving. We're evolving with the new Pac-12 conference, but I have frequently said athletics is really important, and I want to kind of lay it out there as to why. We say, and I say, that athletics is the front door of the university. What does that mean? Often, athletics is the only way that a lot of people know who we are and what we do. They're not Cougs. They didn't go to school here, or they're not in school here now. They don't work here, but they know about us. And they know about us because of our athletics programs, many different sports. That's really, really important to us. Athletics is often the first thing that people who do come to us touch about WSU. It's the thing that students touch and hear about. It's the things that people who want to come become part of us as employees know about us. It represents who we are in a way that nothing else does. And while I know that, and I hope all of you know that, it's also an incredible venue for our student athletes to demonstrate who they are and what they do and provide service to the institution. This is also, and I've said this a lot, this is not merely a defining moment for college athletics everywhere in the country. We are in a complete kind of disruption change state. We meaning all of us in universities in the US and all of our college athletics programs. I hope for our student athletes, you don't see this every day, you don't feel it every day, but those of us who are in positions like mine and in positions like Jon do. So this moment requires us to move faster, make better decisions with less information, rethink models that no longer serve where college athletics are, they serve where college athletics has been, where Coug athletics has been. So we're not going to operate on the basis of outdated assumptions. So for that reason, Jon Haarlow is the perfect leader for the moment. He brings the ability to lead with clarity and to facilitate change. That's very important. He brings the ability to partner with me. That's very important for this moment at WSU. He has a profound understanding of the Pac-12, the national landscape, and where we need to go as a conference, and we'll see more on that coming out this week. And he's also just an undying Coug. This guy bleeds crimson, and has for a long time, since before I got here. So he knows this is not a traditional AD role. He knows the role includes being a tight partner with me, and he knows that the role requires him to think like an entrepreneur as much as a disciplined executor. They both have to be in place. Jon has the capacity for both. So Jon and I are aligned on what success requires. It comes down to 3 focus areas. and I hope you ask us questions about them. Team development and management, revenue generation and brand development, and fundraising and fan experience. We have to excel at all three at sustained levels. And that has to be true for years, not just 1 year at a time. Jon's demonstrated competence and results in all of these areas while he was interim. He hired Kirby Moore. He's totally engaged with student athletes. He spearheaded our fan engagement efforts. And all of that got me to the point where I said, this is a person who we want to stay here and step into this kind of new or altered or augmented, however you want to represent it, athletics director role for the moment. So let me say just one more thing about the Pac-12, and then I'll turn it over to Jon. Last week, Jon and I met with Teresa Gould and the team, the Pac-12 conference team, and all the presidents in the Pac-12 and all the athletics directors in the new Pac-12. That new conference gives us the chance to build something truly competitive, truly durable, and truly, really, really exciting. And I know we all have to wait and see, right? We have to look at that first football time during the new Pac-12. We have to look at how all our peers in the Pac-12 perform. But I think we're all committed to winning, and you all know I am committed for Washington State University to compete and win. That, if you remember nothing else about what I think and feel about how we do this on the athletics, in the new and changing athletics world, is we will compete and we will win. So we rebuilt the Pac-12. We were part of that. Jon, more than I, were part of rebuilding, doing something, frankly, lots and lots and lots of people thought that we could not do. And we are there. We are launching a new conference imminently, and we will be competing in that new conference very, very quickly. This whole mentality, this startup mentality, is also the future of WSU. So to go back to my initial statements, athletics is the front door of WSU because you will all demonstrate what a startup mentality is. Jon will lead that part, and the entire institution needs to see that because we have to do that going forward in all the other ways that the world in which we live and provide the capacities that we provide are in a state of disruption at the moment. It is now my honor to introduce Washington State University's 16th Leader of Athletics, our new Vice President and Director of Athletics, Jon Haarlow. I have a little thing for you, Jon.
Whew. Good morning. A number 16 Coug football jersey, that should say Leaf or Minshew on the back. But I got to say, I'm incredibly honored. Thank you all for being here today. This means everything to me. I'm so grateful to be up here. If you recall, I've been up here a few times here recently, but this one feels a little bit different. I'm going to be using the term grateful quite a bit today, and I need to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude and appreciation to a number of different people. First, to President Cantwell for trusting me to lead during the interim and for trusting me to lead moving forward. Thank you for your leadership and your vision for our future. I'd also like to thank WSU leadership, Executive Vice President for Finance and Operations Leslie Brunelli, Provost and Executive Vice President Chris Riley-Tillman, and Executive VP for statewide campuses Sandra Haynes. Thank you all for being tremendous partners. Additionally, you see Regent Blankenship's here. An enormous thank you to the Board of Regents and to all of our campus partners. It's because of you all that I've enjoyed an incredible 5 years here at WSU, and it's because of you all that I'm excited and anxious for many, many more years to come. To our coaches and staff, I see you back there. Some of y'all are hiding. That's okay. It's because of you all that I'm in this position here today. Let's call it what it is. You all continue to work hard with enthusiasm that has allowed me to be in this position here today. I thank you for your tremendous work, your incredible support, And I'm so grateful for all of you. I wouldn't want to be championing WSU into a new conference with any other group of people. That said, it doesn't change. That level of energy, that level of enthusiasm, that level of dedication and passion that you worked with yesterday, we work with today, and we work with into tomorrow. To alumni and former Coug student athletes, this is you all's department. You all laid the foundation for what it means to be Coug student athletes. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for that you continue to demonstrate that being a Coug means something, that being a Coug just means more. Heavy pun for Coach Moore. We'll get there. It's okay. Here all day. To our current student athletes, watching you all compete and train and develop as young adults is the highlight of being here and being in this position. I thank you for choosing to be Cougs and for allowing me to play just a small part in your story. To my parents, oh man, I worked on this all day. I wasn't going to do this. My mom wasn't able to make the trip today. My sister had surgery. I look in the camera here, one of them. Sis, I hope you're doing well. My mom stayed back to take care of her. My dad is here. So thankful to be your son. You're crying. That's not going to help me. Thanks for showing me how to serve others and for being the best role model I could have asked for. To my kids, Gage and Jersey, it's amazing to be your dad. You both make me smile. I love you both so much, and thank you for your shared passion for the Cougs. And last but certainly not least, to my beautiful bride, Jessica, holy smokes, what a 10-year journey this has been. Thanks for dealing with me like you do, for putting up with the crazy schedule. You've embraced every part of this with a smile, and I couldn't do it without you. Thank you, and I love you. Whew. All right, we made it through that part. What an incredible honor it is to be here today, standing in front of you as your Vice President and Director of Athletics at Washington State University. Pullman is a special place. It represents resilience, pride, and a deep sense of community that extends far beyond this campus. That spirit is what makes Cougar Athletics unique and what makes this opportunity so meaningful to me personally and professionally. I've spent my entire career at higher ed institutions because I believe in the power that it has to change and transform lives. I spent primarily, the majority of my career in college athletics because I believe in its power to transform lives. Growing up in Peoria, Illinois, the friends and family that went on to play college athletics, I've seen firsthand its ability to create access, build leaders, and unite communities. At Washington State University, that mission is not abstract. It's lived every day by our student athletes who compete at the highest level while representing this university with passion, pride, and integrity. As we look ahead, my vision for Cougar Athletics is grounded in 3 core principles. First, student-athlete success. This is in competition in the classroom and in life. We'll continue to invest in resources, support systems, and experiences that position our student-athletes to graduate, lead, and thrive long after their competitive careers are over. Second, competitive excellence. We'll build programs that consistently compete and win. That means recruiting and developing elite talent, supporting our coaches, and ensuring we have the infrastructure to exceed and to succeed in an increasingly complex and competitive national landscape. Third, financial strength and innovation. The future of college athletics requires discipline, physical management, and creative revenue strategies. We'll be proactive, bold, and aggressive in activating our 250,000 living alumni. These activations must include tickets, and they must include donations. Even if just a little bit, it all matters, and it has never mattered more than it matters right now. We'll activate partnerships, NIL opportunities, and fan engagement. We'll do this to ensure Washington State remains visible and competitive in a continuing, evolving environment. We also recognize the importance of connection. Cougar Athletics belongs to all of you. Our fans, our donors, our alumni, our students. We will deepen those relationships. We will win back the student population. We'll tell our story more effectively. We'll create experiences that bring people together and strengthen our brand across the region and across the country. Washington State University remains a national brand. That's not going anywhere. This is a pivotal moment for college athletics and for Washington State. There are challenges, sure. There are also tremendous opportunities. We'll meet this moment with clarity, collaboration, and confidence in who we are. To our student athletes, again, you all are at the center of everything that we do. To our coaches and staff, your leadership drives our success. And to Coug Nation, your passion is unmatched. We're headed to a new Pac-12 conference. We are headed into a new era. Our era. Our next is now. But we need everyone. Let's attack this new season, locked arms together. I'm energized, I'm humbled, I'm ready to get back to work. Thank you, and go Cougs.
Jon, congratulations. Obviously, you've spent time at this university. You know how pivotal of a moment this is. You just talked about it. What's kind of the goal in the next month, 2 months, 3 months stretch, the right now to seize this opportunity and continue the momentum you see here in the room today?
Yeah, I think we already started my 100-day plan like 4 or 5 months ago in the interim role. But we still have a strong spring to finish out. We still have a lot of competition going on. This is going to be a full-on attack from every direction. We're continuing to build out our revenue office, to continue to make sure we got the resources to front face to build those opportunities and resources. We've got to finish out the spring. Then I know the summer's vacation time. We all want to do that, certainly, but we have to attack this fall. This fall is arguably the most important fall in the history of WCU athletics. So we want to make sure that those sports are ready to go, and we attack the ground running.
Never heard such a quiet room. Even the kids are really quiet. Are there other questions?
Go Cougs.
Wow. Got another question here.
Hey, Betsy, what along the line did you start to get the sense that Jon would be the right guy for the job, and what kind of led you to that conclusion?
Yeah, it's a simple answer because he performed incredibly well in the role as interim. And I was looking for specific things, and I think I went over them. One is the ability to partner with me, and that's crucial as we go into this coming year, that we are really not just linked at the hip, but really working. So the sum of Jon Haarlow and Elizabeth Cantwell together is more than the sum that each one of us would be accomplishing alone. That's huge. But he's also got a lot of wisdom in coach selection. That's really important now. And maybe most important of all is that he spends an inordinate amount of time with student athletes. And that means a lot to me.
Jon, how did you kind of balance the operations of, handling the day-to-day athletic director duties while you were the interim, while also trying to present yourself as the best candidate for this role?
Yeah, it was never really about getting the job for me. This was not, I wasn't trying to go about the role in an effort to come out of here as the victor, if you will. I wanted to continue to set up, moving our path forward. There were so many things going on, and there's a lot of crossover between what we were doing in the operation and the athletics director. I relied on the staff. I mean, holy smokes, do we have a staff that grinds? It's incredible. But it was never to just get to this finish line so I can get the job, and then we go from there. It was do everything that's set up, whether it was me or somebody else, and we just hit the ground running towards the launch of the new Pac-12. So there's a lot of crossover. I just continued to go about my day-to-day as I would, whether I was going to be named permanent or if I had a role that I could continue to make an impact in moving forward.
Hi, Jon. Just wanted to say congratulations, and I wanted to follow up about kind of entering the new Pac-12 as well. I mean, is that kind of one of the biggest challenges of kind of taking this job right now? And are there any things that you're kind of looking forward to with kind of beginning a new conference?
Yeah, challenges is what also makes it pretty exciting, too. We have a lot of really incredible institutions. I have a lot of respect for those presidents and for those ADs, a lot of like-minded institutions and thought processes. I want to continue to push towards common goals, which is to make sure that we've got spots toward the CFP and access to championships for all of our sport programs. And so, I view it more as an exciting time, quite honestly, the best time. Clean slate to attack from a new position.
Jon, when you were in the interim role, what were maybe one or two of the biggest things you learned during that period of time, and how can you use that now moving forward now as the permanent AD?
A lot more time in front of the camera than I've ever been used to, and that's not my wheelhouse. That's been something I've had to really learn and lean into. You got to be extraordinarily diligent with your time. I care so deeply about everyone on our team and all of our student athletes, and you have to be really intentional as to how you are able to speak with them and to them to make sure you're giving them their undivided attention. And so I definitely learned how to approach the days in a different manner. And again, I revert back to the team and how hard that they worked. That really made this, I want to say, easier for me, but I've got such great staff that I'm able to rely on them for a lot of the stuff that we do.
Hi, John. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm curious, in an era of high turnover of student athletes with the transfer portal and NIL, how are you going to prioritize a lasting and strong community and culture within our student athlete population?
Yeah, I think it starts with the culture and the community that we have with our staff. My wife and family are a huge part of that. We can create a culture for our staff and for our coaches that they feel comfortable to sustain them long term. That's easier than when we're turning over coaches on an annual basis. That leads to roster turnover. So the money's always going to be a bit of a thing out there. We're always going to be chasing that. And we're not always going to have the most of it. But what we can do, and we have control over, is culture. And I think if we set that with our coaches and our staff, that can bleed into our rosters and with the student-athlete environment, too, that where it's not always about the dollar.
Good morning, John. Tom Ryhill. Two questions, really. First of all, we focus on football a lot. How are you going to channel into that men's and women's basketball and baseball and the other sports? The second thing is, we built the Champions Complex, and that's great for mental health and things like that. What are we doing as far as bringing things like medical facilities or student-athlete help onto campus as opposed to having to go all the way down to PRH or elsewhere?
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Good to see you and Linda, always. For starters, we do put a lot of priority and focus on football because football makes our engine go. Football will allow us to rise all other boats because if success in football increases visibility and revenue, that's just the math, that's just the equation. That said, I care equally as deeply for all of our other student athletes as well that are here, many of them for longer periods of time than some of our basketball and football student athletes are. So that's just as important that they're here and they're Cougs through and through so they come back far after they graduate and they represent us in business and whatever else their next phase of life. All of our student athletes are important. That's a day-to-day thing that we preach in and out. Second piece on the mental health, our facilities are top-notch. We're in an incredible place thanks to generous donors such as yourselves. Champion Center is incredible. Our relationship with PRH is top-notch. I mean, Dr. Tingstad and others, I shouldn't have started naming them because now I'm going to forget and then I don't want anybody to feel left out, but they're on our campus all the time. And we have Spooner, Jim Spooner, never use your first name, but Spooner does an incredible job of creating partnerships and making sure we have an open dialogue with PRH, and that's an evolving partnership that's going to continue to move us forward. That's a differentiator for us compared to our peers, big time.
Excuse me, obviously quality is most important, but is there a number or a quantity of people that we would like to have in our conference and who else we might want to add to the conference?
Gary, come on now. It's a great question. I appreciate it. So one of the things, obviously, we want to make sure we're maximizing our distributions back to WSU. If there is a potential partner out there to expand the conference, it has to be one that makes sense financially, that's going to bring additional revenue to that league. Otherwise, if we're just adding partners to add partners, it diminishes our returns back to WSU. We want to make sure we maximize that. So sure, there may be some other partners out there. I also think we're minimal amount of years away from other conferences doing different things. And so I don't think it's as essential for us to just jump just to expand to hit a number. We need to make sure we're protecting WSU and maximizing the resources back to us.
And I would answer that question from the perspective of a member of the board of the conference, right, which is all the presidents. And we are building a new brand, which is both unique and very powerful. And there aren't, any additional schools would have to be ready for that brand. And we operate really tightly as a team of athletics directors and as a team of presidents. You don't see that really anywhere else. And it's a huge value for us at the moment. We wouldn't want to mess that up.
for coming here today. There will now be some photos, and media will have a chance for one-on-one interviews. But that will do it for today's event. Thank you all again for being here today, and for those not here, for tuning in as well. And as always, go Cougs.